Hello, so I meant to do this video yesterday, but I got kind of busy because I had to write an offer. So I apologize for the delay. Quite a few people have been asking me about the energy rebate because I did it on two different properties. So I'm going to explain to you what I did in London, Ontario to get energy rebates back on two different properties. So both the homes are semi-detached. Both of them are over 50 years old. And basically I contacted Energuy. There's different companies you can go to, I think, but this is the one I went to. I'll post the information in the links. You can get $5,000 back up to, depending on what your home qualifies for. So first thing I had to do was pay for the initial energy check of the home, essentially. So they go through, there's a list of things that you can qualify for, which is either furnace, basement wall insulation, exterior wall insulation, attic insulation, air sealing, water heater, or windows, doors, and skylights. The idea is that basically you're going to insulate your home better, you're going to lower your costs for your energy bills, and the government is, or Union Gas is going to give you money back for that. And since hydro bills obviously controversially are very high right now, I looked into this as soon as I heard about it. So I started this process on August 30th, 2016, so last year technically. I paid out of pocket $350 plus HST for each home to do the initial assessment. Both my homes qualified. The second assessment you have to pay is $150 plus HST, and that's at the end after you do everything. If your home qualifies for the energy rebates, then you get this money back, except for the HST, of course. So I already got my checks back for those on both houses. Those were actually the first checks to come back, were the ones for the energy assessments. After I got the initial one, I got online report in my email with what I qualified for. It's really long, it's kind of boring, so I asked them to break it down for me and send me exactly what I was allowed to do and how much money I was going to get, because this is what the report looks like. It's about 12 pages. It goes through. There's a lot of stuff that I think is generic. This is all about the points that you're eligible for. You need to get a certain amount of points, which the person who's doing your assessment will go through it with you. It'll tell you what upgrades, the current and after improvements, what you're going to go for. So what I did in London was I was approved for the furnace one, $1,000. So I ended up going through Corner Gas. Corner Gas has a program where you can get 0% financing with no money down with Snap Home Finance. My new energy efficient furnace was $3,400 for the one house. It was about the same for the other. These are both semi-detached, so if you have a detached home, it might be a little bit higher, and if your home is a small bungalow, it might be a little bit smaller. The payments are about $100 a month. I didn't have to pay anything up front for this. So I definitely recommend doing Corner Gas, and if you have good credit and you qualify for the 0% financing, this is a great way to get a new furnace, and you should get your check back before you even have to pay off your entire furnace. So that's what I did for the furnace one. I also qualified for a water heater. I didn't do that one. I have Reliance rental, so I just chose not to do that one. I owned the furnace anyways, and my furnace was like 17 years old. So I was gonna have to upgrade it anyways, and pretty much it's like getting $1,000 off. So the next thing I did was the attic insulation. I got a quotes from a few different companies. One of my quotes was $3,200, and I had kind of a negative experience with a company. I'm not going to name names, but if you want me to tell you who to steer clear of, just message me privately and I'll let you know. I also ended up going with Arctic Attics. So basically both the homes I got done 1988, so just under $2,000 for both the homes, so about $1,000 each. And I got $250 back on attic insulation for each home. So out of pocket, I was really just paying about $750, and the attic insulation is the major thing that keeps your heat in your house. I got told when I was going through this process, I talked to a lot of different people, I've talked to different companies, the attic insulation, because heat rises, is what's going to save you the most on your energy bills, and it's the most bang for your buck. If your attic insulation is like you have none, you can qualify for up to $500 to get up to R50. They'll explain to you the different ratings. Basically, it's a measurement in how much insulation you need. As long as you get up to R50, you can get either $250 or $500 back. So if you had nothing, you can essentially get almost half the cost of what I paid for the attic insulation back from the government. There's another company in St. Thomas that my neighbors used, and they paid even less. So the attic insulation, as far as the rebates go, is the best bang for your buck. The next thing that I did was I got help from my stepdad. If you know someone who's handy, I was pre-approved for air sealing at $100 for each house, which basically means going around checking the windows, checking anywhere that the air is obviously not sealed. So I got my stepdad to help me out with that part, and I also got approved for $80 for every window or door that was not energy efficient. Now this one is probably one that you want to make sure you're going to spend the money on upgrading the window or the door anyways, because basically the doors are expensive. You need to get the Energy Star qualified ones. You can't get around it. If you have to pay someone to install it, I had called other people I had, and before I got Sean to help me out, like $1,000, $2,000 for an energy door custom fit to your house. That's really expensive. So getting $80 back doesn't really do anything. Because I just got doors from Home Depot and my stepdad did the work, I got $80 back for each door. Wasn't a huge amount. I just did the back doors at my house, not the front doors. But I still got the money back, and my house has better air sealing because I got the doors as well. If you ever got a window quote, $80 back per window is not that much money. So if you're going to upgrade and do all this stuff anyways, then yeah, apply to get the window money back, but it's not as much bang for your buck. So the windows and doors, you get $80 per, and then on top of that, you get the bonus for air sealing. So how this program works is you have to do 2 minimum to get the rebate, so you can get whatever you qualify for, and you get the money back for the inspections. After that, if you do 3 things, you get a bonus of $250. If you get 4 things, you get another bonus of $250. So I did 4 separate things for each house. So I got the bonuses for the 3rd and 4th things. You have to hand in all your receipts for everything. That's should be a given. It's very important. Everything needs to stay organized in a file. I started this process on August 30th, and I did not get it finished until sometime in January when I got the actual last assessment done, all the receipts organized and handed in. It's a long process. I highly recommend do not start this until you're ready, and make sure that you have the money to start it. Because if you don't have, well, the furnace program was really awesome, but I needed to have money for the doors, for the air sealing, for everything else that I ended up doing. The insulation, I paid out of pocket. I didn't do a finance plan for that. So the total I ended up spending for both houses was around $11,000 in upgrades, and I ended up getting just over $4,000 back. So that's for 2 semi-detached homes. So you can kind of do the math. What I'm going to do is, because there's a lot of numbers here and I went through a lot of information, is I'm going to do a little write-up, kind of the basics of what I got approved for, and I'll put that all in a write-up so you guys can read through it at your own leisure. The only other thing I'm going to mention is they have quite a long time to send you the check after. So I wouldn't recommend putting any of this stuff on your credit card, because they have a while to get you the check. I think it's up to 6 months. I already got one of them for the entire home rebate. So it comes from, actually, I have all my paperwork here. It comes from Union Gas. So they'll give you a separate thing saying that you've been approved for everything. Because the Energuy representative or whoever you pick will do it. And then you get a separate one with a check. So I got $19.30 for one of the homes. And then in addition to that, I got both the both of the energy, what was it called? Sorry. Both of the energy assessments. So I got those separately within, I think, 3 weeks. The check didn't come until a little bit later. And I'm still waiting on the one for Flanders because they had to update my mailing address. But this one came, it's no more than 120 days, it says on here. So this one actually came a month after everything was submitted. And the other one, I still don't know where the check is yet, but they still have like 60 days at least. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. And have a great day.